Well, thanks for making some time today, Cady. I'm excited to hear more. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Johnson County Childcare Wage Enhancement Program. Is that correct?
Yes, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about this program and how local employers can, well, how did it evolve or how did it get to where it is? And let's start there.
In 2018, the Iowa Women's Foundation started a statewide initiative addressing child care issues across the state. And we are so lucky in Johnson County that the Iowa City Area Business Partnership took the lead in convening work groups around this effort. And so what started as a large session work group evolved into small project teams. And over time, those project teams continued to develop different solutions to childcare issues that we were having locally. And one of those was the wage gap. So as we know, the childcare model just does not work. We need to increase pay for childcare workers without increasing costs to parents because childcare is unaffordable to most people. And so the work group really started digging into this and really found some interesting programs in Hamilton County and around the state in Polk County. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce estimates that Iowa loses $935 million annually as a result of childcare breakdowns. And so in Iowa, further, it affects women at a higher rate than men. There are 589,000 fewer women in the U.S. labor force today than there were in February of 2020. They lost jobs, left jobs, and have not returned to jobs at a higher rate than men since the pandemic. So we need to do something. And this group has developed a wage enhancement program that businesses can get involved in. And it's a direct action that HR leaders, administrative officers, COOs, you can see a tangible benefit right away. And it's a really easy entry into addressing childcare issues for your employees at very low cost and low barrier.
Well, you brought up some good points, and certainly the data doesn't lie as it relates to the impact on workforce and specifically the women in the workforce. As we all know, we're a relatively low unemployment state. We've historically had very high labor participation, and including both men and women. Yeah. And with the pandemic and a number of other factors, the limit to childcare and some of those other things, that's really been an impact on us locally, and it's been negative. So as we think about it, I know our organization, Iowa City Area Development Group, as well as the Iowa City Area Business Partnership, has raised their hand to be supportive of this. It's about $150 per employee. What types of businesses are eligible? Can you talk a little bit more about that? And how do they get involved with you?
Yeah, so the Wage Enhancement Plan, it's a public-private partnership, really, at its best. So we've started with an investment, an infusion of cash from public ARPA dollars. And that fund is going to help kickstart us. But what we really need to make this sustainable is investment from private enterprise. And what we're asking businesses to do is contribute $150 per employee that live or work in Johnson County annually. And so for that low price of $150 per employee, we're going to deposit that in a fund at the Community Foundation of Johnson County, where it's going to grow interest, it's going to be invested. And as it's sitting there doing that, we're going to be making distributions to childcare workers. So full-time employees at childcare centers in Johnson County will be eligible through their centers to apply for a wage increase of $2 per hour. And so you're talking about, for full-time employees, a raise of around 18%. The childcare workforce issue is really the issue here. So in some cities in Iowa, rural cities, they don't have centers. They don't have infrastructure. That's not our issue in Johnson County. Our issue is staffing. And the best way to address that is paying livable wages. Right now, the average childcare worker makes, I believe it's less than $23,000 a year. The average family with 2 children in childcare pay over $25,000 a year in childcare costs. It's a burden on both. So this is where public-private partnerships are going to be able to step in and address a gap that has previously been unaddressed. So businesses will invest this fund. The Community Foundation will hold the fund. Johnson County is going to administer the fund, and 4C is our local childcare nonprofit, is going to help childcare centers to educate them about how the program works and help onboard them. And so really, it's super low barrier. You can see what I meant, where tax deductible donation to the community foundation, count your employees, you're done. And you are going to be making a direct impact into the childcare workforce shortage in Johnson County.
Well, this sounds fantastic, Cady. And certainly this is a complex issue, as you've described. There are a lot of individuals and organizations that are involved and have been involved. It's a wonderful collaboration. As we all know, it's not a silver bullet, but it certainly is a step in the right direction. So I just want to thank you and all that have been involved in moving this forward. It's critically important to our community, to our ability to continue to grow and thrive here. So thank you for your work, and thank you to all of those. Reach out directly to you. Do you want to share an email with this group, or what's the best way to contact you to move?
Yeah, so I'll put together a list here that will go out with this link. You can click on bt2030.org and email info@bt2030.org for more information. Or you'll be able to click on a link directly that takes you to the fund at the Community Foundation, where you can make that payment either electronically, or you can ask to be invoiced. We have information sheets as well as kind of overarching education that we can provide to companies if HR leaders are looking to get this plan into their budgets.
Excellent. Take advantage of this opportunity, business community. If you have issues, reach out to me. Let's get connected. Let's be the place for childcare and the most supportive childcare community in the country. Thank you, Cady. Thanks to all involved. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.